Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to give you an update on Tesla inventory. There's some deals out there. Let's take a look at a inventory chart for Tesla online. And we found a new one. Shout out to David for sending us this because it charts out all the different incentives over the past, 3 or 4 months, over the past 2 quarters, and how they've affected or not. And I will give you an update on what I feel like I fully expect is going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to get into that plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro really quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla deal hacking, as I like to call it. But basically just getting the best selling Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And definitely check out my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there. And today's live stream is partnered with Mint Mobile, where you can save money on your mobile phone plan for as low as $15 a month, but more on that later. And so let's take a look at it. Jumping right into it, here is a brand new inventory chart that is kind of taking a look at a different lens. I really like this update. I really like how this was put together by David. So shout out to David for sure for putting this and throwing this on the screen. But Tesla Model Y and Model 3 inventory as of September 12, 2024. So today, and what's really interesting to this is there's a different way on how this is actually structured on the inventory chart, because as you'll notice, not only do we have from June to September, which is 3 months, so over the past kind of quarter, give or take, we've got incentives that were plotted on the chart as well. So you can see like Model Y 0.99 did wonders for Tesla, right? Because they really clear out their inventory for Model 3 and Model Y, but then inventory started to head right back up. And so Tesla did 1.99, and you can see throughout the months for 1.99 at Model Y and 1.99 for Model 3, inventory kind of stayed at that same level. And then finally on August 24th, about a month ago or about a half a month ago, Tesla released the $1,000 Tesla referral code program. And if you need a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, you can get an extra $1,000 off a Model 3 or Model Y, and you can lock it in as well. So because I fully expect this $1,000 discount to disappear from Tesla. They're going to remove it because it's just too good, I feel like, at the moment. But what's interesting with this, because you can piece together from this, these incentives, even though 1.99 is great, it's not as good as 0.99 or 0. Just psychologically, I feel like customers just really like that lower number. And so maybe there's a good argument here, because if we take a look at this chart in inventory, there's a good argument that maybe 0.99 or 0% might be coming in Q4, because it's not necessarily clearing out inventory for Tesla. And so here's the raw data. You can see here the chart is kind of yo-yoing back and forth, and there really isn't any sort of huge push to clear out inventory. And maybe Tesla likes living in these levels of inventory, and maybe they just like sitting at these inventory levels, or for whatever it is, because we took a look. We actually found an inventory lot near us and explored it. And, we didn't find anything. I mean, we found some cool cars there. We found some cool colors. Here's the exact video if you want to save it and watch it at a later moment, but really cool. And really to give you the TLDR, too long didn't watch for that video, what we found was that the oldest vehicle was maybe a month old. They have one Model 3 Performance. They had a handful of Model 3, the Highlands, a lot of Model Ys, but really, I mean, the demand is essentially there. 1 month old or 30 days on lot is not like the worst. If I saw like a vehicle that was like 100 days old or like 200 days old, that's kind of a different story. But an oldest vehicle being 30 days, it's not that bad, especially if it's like a Model Y. It's something that they've been selling for a long time. Now, of course, Tesla has switched their strategy to more of like a volume base where they have vehicles on the ground. So it is a little bit different than made to order. So I certainly understand why inventory could be piling up at these different lots. But there is a case, an argument that maybe the incentives, maybe the deals will get better for sure in Q4, or maybe they get better right now, because right now it is the last month of the quarter. It's September. October kicks off the first month of the fourth quarter. And so if Tesla isn't hitting their sales goals, we could see incentives as soon as today, because today is Thursday. We know Tesla likes doing things on Thursdays to shake it up, and it's right around that middle of the month time frame as well. So maybe free supercharging comes back. I know some of you might be excited for free supercharging, 3 months or whatever it is, or maybe 6 months comes back, or maybe 10,000 or 15,000 miles, or maybe Tesla just drops interest rates for all vehicles, because I know a lot of you out there might be thinking like, hey, if you get 0.99, you'll probably buy today or something like that. And so certainly that seems to be the feedback. People prefer 0.99 over like a $5,000 discount. But one thing's for sure is the Tesla referral program is working. And I actually put a poll out there because yesterday we talked about that refund method on whether if you could get that initial $250 deposit back if you had to place a second order to get that $1,000 referral code. Because there's people that place orders before the referral program came out and they want to make a second order so they can try and get that $250 back. There is some reports that were confirmed, some reports that weren't, but either way, you're still going to save, whether you save $750 or $1,000 and get that $250 back. But if you need a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, don't forget to use it, click it open and let it cookie and attach to your browser. But I just kicked off this poll. It just hit off at 8 votes. So it seems like a couple votes at yup, it worked. Second, nope, it didn't work, and too lazy, to be honest, because I could see where I could be too lazy as well to try and get it back. But we'll check back on this poll, or if you want to track it yourself, head on over to the community page on our YouTube channel so you can actually see it. But certainly, I think we could have more incentives as soon as today, which is Thursday. Tesla likes Thursdays, or maybe even later on at the end of this month. But let us know. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for 0.99? Are you waiting for $5,000 discounts? Or just more free supercharging? We charted out what we thought might happen in the near future. And so in case you forgot, here is a reminder of my personal predictions. So I think, currently it was 3 months of full free supercharging in the past, but I think it's going to go either to 6 months, 15,000 miles, or 10,000 miles. I think finance could go as low to like 0.99. I don't think 0% is. Maybe like as a Hail Mary, they do something crazy for the end of December, like with 1 to 2 weeks left in December, they do like 0%, but I don't think, unless like, well, it depends, right? If the Fed drops the interest rates, then we could see more of that. I do predict leasing payments will get better by at least $50 to $100 than what it is currently right now. And I do think we're going to see more inventory discounts at around $5,000 to $8,000 off. Right now, there is some inventory discounts. Like I was just perusing the site. I found this one, a $2,000 off a Model 3 long range all-wheel drive with 28 miles on it. I think this is a fantastic vehicle, fantastic deal, because especially if you stack it with a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, plus maybe even a $1,000 military program, you can see where these deals could get very, very, very good. And to think that already the Model 3 Highland has discounts already, it's just going to get better and better for all of us. In other Tesla news, this was a cool video I watched. Shout out to Jason Camisa and the Haggerty team. They did a Model 3 versus a BMW M3 versus a AMG, and they did 2 drag races, and it was very entertaining to watch both of them and see that the Model 3 only won on one of the races. So definitely check it out on YouTube if you're interested in watching that. And lastly, in EV news, there's a brand new Macan EV that just rolled out. We've got 308 EPA range and 280 EPA range. Hit that like button if you want us, or comment down below if you want us to go check out one of these. We've got a friend that potentially can get us access to one, so maybe we'll check it out and see what all the hype is about and see if it's a real contender or not. I got some pictures already, and it's quite the penny, $100,000 off of the bat for this one. So definitely very interesting stuff. But we're gonna jump into the live stream comments, but thanks for jumping in, everybody. Before we get into our next topic, I've been trying to save money lately, and that's why we talk about this channel, trying to get the best deal on a Tesla. And I've been looking at our subscriptions like YouTube Premium, Netflix, trying to figure out how I could save some money every single month. And cutting expenses, it's kind of hard. We've been trying to rack our brain together and figure out how. That's why I'm so intrigued with our channel partner, Mint Mobile. They offer premium wireless starting at $15 a month. And I can get high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network, and I can even bring my own phone along with my current number and existing contracts. I'm sacrificing nothing. I've used Mint Mobile a ton, and I switched my second line to Mint Mobile, and I've been using it to watch YouTube and play podcasts on our daily commute and haven't noticed any drop in speed. And I can't tell the difference. So, how hard is it to switch service? Big Wireless wants you to think it's actually hard, but it's not at all. Switching to Mint is super easy thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most of you now have. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. If your phone doesn't have an eSIM, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free. So if you want to save little money without the sacrifice, go to trymintmobile.com/DennisCW, also linked down below in the description, to get premium wireless for just $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. Thank you to Mint for partnering, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks for that, everyone. Thanks for jumping by. Thanks for hitting the like button, and happy Thursday to everyone. Crypto Zero, thanks for coming in. Tim Mateo, thanks for coming in. Dr. Russ, Paul, and Scott, and Paul, thank you all for dropping by. 1.99 is double 0.99. Yeah, I mean, that is a valid point for sure. But when you actually do the math, the interest, if you're keeping it all the way to that 60 or 72 month term, isn't that much more for going from 0.99 for 1.99. But I certainly see what you're saying. Crypto, I'm waiting for 0% for 72 months on the Model Y and X. Yeah, if they do Model X at 0.0%, that would be insane and really make it work for it. Timoteo, what does the Y axis represent? I don't know what 3,000 units mean. Is it 300,000 cars? No, it actually is 3,000 cars. Tesla keeps inventory pretty low compared to other manufacturers out there. Dr. Russ, waiting for closer to the end of the month before pulling the trigger. Make Elon sweat. Yeah, 100%. And we're kind of just coming down to the wire, right? It's fun to come on and see whatever the deals are, especially on Thursdays. Yeah, Paul, good old Thursday. Yeah, if you're a fan or been watching the market, you'll know Tesla likes, it used to be Fridays. They would wait all the way till Friday at 9 p.m., but now they've kind of changed it to Thursdays. So there might be 2 streams today if there is an incentive later on today. Scott, I don't know what I'm waiting for. Just more. I just drove by the lot and it's filling up. It seems like a legacy seller would barter at this point. Yeah, certainly inventory is pulling up wherever. Paul, previously repaired a deal breaker? I wouldn't say so. It really depends, right? Like this one does have a almost $2,000 discount, but it most likely is previously repaired. The cool thing is you can click that link and kind of get a little bit of an idea of what has happened, and or once you take delivery, they can show you the repair order, but it says total cost of repair order $1,000. That's nothing in my opinion. That's not even a bumper or anything. That just might be a really good detail job, probably some light scratches. So I would say yes, 100% yes on this one. I would maybe like the most repair order 2 to 4, maybe 5,000. It kind of just depends. Like this could just be like a latch that broke, which we've seen in the past, very common. And to get a $2,000 discount for that, I mean, heck yes, I am down. One of them I saw had a $10,000 repair order. That one I'd probably stay away from because that most likely is like a bumper, maybe even some more, maybe a door that needed to be replaced. And so I would definitely not mess with something in that type of caliber. Jonathan, Quarter 4 going to have better deals, new Model 3 Performance or refresh Model S, debating on the 2. That is a great question. Quarter 4 is going to have better deals. I believe so. Good probability, and that's a tough one. Model 3 Performance or refresh, especially if it's like a 2022 refresh, maybe even a Plaid is not going to be that much more. Kind of depends. Do you qualify for the tax credit, and do you really prioritize comfortability? Because the Model S with the air suspension is a world of a difference versus a Model 3 Performance. So if you're someone that really likes comfortability, then I would say go Model S. What were the incentives in Quarter 4 last year? Al, that's a great question. We'll probably have to, I've written them down somewhere. I'll probably make another video on that. ACC, not a good year to buy a Tesla. Next year will be better. Hard pass Model S. Yeah. Why do you say it's not a good year to buy a Tesla? Because of all the depreciation. Days, thanks for coming in. Should I wait for the 2025 Model 3? I mean, at this point, 2025 is not that much longer from now. It's going to be late December or January. So yeah, maybe for sure we could get there. Model 3 Performance is sweet. ACC, I'm waiting for power share capability. Yeah, right now the Cybertruck is getting power power share, but it's not even like fully baked. Like some people have it, some people can install it, and some people can turn it on, but others can't necessarily turn it on based upon like regulations or updates or anything like that. And so it's like a little bit of a hit or miss, I would say. Scott, any chance Tesla releases Model Y Q4 to boost sales? I don't think so. Someone just told me a rumor pretty recently that like February is the first month. I don't know if it's that quick, but I mean, we shall see. I'm still holding to my guns that June is going to be a release of the Model Y refresh. I personally don't think it's coming anytime sooner than that. And this next topic, Tesla Full Self-Driving version 12.5 rollout on hardware 3 has failed. Interesting headline. Let's talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla deal hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. Shout out to Electric for posting this. Tesla Full Self-Driving version 12.5 rollout on hardware 3, which is older Model 3s, has failed. What happens next? And so taking a look at this article, it does get pretty interesting. And this is kind of the tough thing with buying a Tesla vehicle. The older vehicles, the older technology, they do become obsolete. Like if you didn't know what was before hardware 3, there was hardware 2.5 and so on and so forth. And hardware 3 was like a 2019 to 2020 all the way to like 2023 Model 3 and Model Y. And so hardware 4 is what it's on right now. Is what gets full self-driving on every single update now. But hardware 3, it seems like the rollout for it has been stalled. Some people got it and then it's stalled after that. And, you know, leave it to Tesla. They're already talking about hardware 5, but they're not calling it hardware 5. They're calling it AI 5. So that's kind of the unfortunate thing with Tesla, full self-driving type of things like this. It's just like an iPhone. Every year, it doesn't become necessarily obsolete, but at a certain point when it gets old enough, it doesn't get updates for that. And what's really interesting with this article was this top comment from Peter Rust. He says, I received 12.5 on my 2017 hardware 3 vehicle about 2 weeks ago, and it is a failure. The car will not drive at the speed you set. It will fall well below the true speed limit and cause a backup of cars behind you. This happens on clear, straight 2-lane roads with speed limits of 30 and 50 miles an hour. You have to keep hitting the accelerator to get the car up to the limit, but then it keeps slowing down and not speeding up. It does not respond to increasing the max speed, allowing the car to drive at the speed it does not seem to fix in the situation. Full self-driving on hardware 3 is unusable, and this is probably why they halted the rollout. And so if you're shopping for used Teslas or even buying new ones, you know, I see people that post like, hey, this Tesla's got full self-driving. You really want it, or, you know, build some sort of value in that. But really, I don't assign too much value on full self-driving at all. It used to be that if a vehicle had full self-driving on a used Tesla, it was valued at maybe $2,000 more. At this point, I think it's just like, oh, that's cool. It has it. Maybe I'll give you an extra $1,000. And if it's got it, great. If it doesn't, I don't really care either at all, because unless you have the latest and greatest Model 3 or Model Y, if Model Y has hardware for it, it doesn't really matter any sort of difference, and you're limited by whatever updates that actually come out at the end of the day. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. If you got an older Tesla on hardware 3, do you have the 12.5 update, and how's it going for you in that new update with that? But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. Master Palpatine, thanks for coming in. My Model 3 long range coming in September 25 to 30. Use cash in the app until when I can wait to change the finance and find and upload insurance. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You do not need to update. All you have to do is fill in the driver's license, address, and everything, and that's all Tesla needs. Once you get the VIN, then go ahead and do the application. That's all you really need to do, because then you save yourself from 2 hard inquiry hits when you're ordering a Tesla. So quick tip for anybody out there, and if anybody out there hasn't bought a Tesla yet, don't forget to use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description. FR, how strict are the tax credit requirements? I think the 2023 income is within the limit, but 2024 is looking to be over. Well, great news. You can actually use this year or the year before. So you're perfectly fine. And you can see that on the IRS website if you need to check that for sure. What else we got? Master Palpatine ordered red and white, but inventory says arriving soon Quicksilver white. Can I change my mind same day delivery if I see it there and like it more? Great question. I don't think Tesla will allow you to switch that quickly and that easily, like day of. You might have to try and work with them, because I don't know if they can. Maybe they can, especially if you like really don't want it, but they're not that agile to do that. I think you have to like give them a day notice, but you never know. Maybe if there's a will, there is a way for sure. ACC, Elon sent the chips. Tesla needs to grok. Hardware 3 stuck on 12.3.6. Yeah, maybe that's what the case is. Jonathan, when you order new, how long can you push out delivery date? My states has a 4K rebate that starts in mid-January, and you have to purchase within 9 days to apply. So I need to take delivery mid-October to late October. So you can stall for as long as you want. There's many reasons that you can give them, like out of town. But once you get a vehicle in your account, like a specific VIN, they give you an ultimatum, because they want to try and make deliveries by the end of every single month. And so if that date comes, and because they want to release those vehicles and get those delivered to more people, so they will take that vehicle from you and give it to someone else, but your order will stay intact. They typically don't cancel orders anymore unless it's like Cybertruck, which is happening right now. Volky, the full self-driving value in Hardware 3 is now in the transfer capability when it exists. That's a great point. And so, because I've been toying with the idea, like, why don't we buy like a inexpensive Model 3 long range? I mean, now with the tax credit, you can get them, 15, 16K, put it around, use it as like a daily driver for whenever, I don't know. And then whenever the deal happens for full self-driving, transfer it into something else. And that's an 8K value essentially there. And then whenever there's full self-driving, transfer again, do it again right after that. ACC recently got Powerwall 3-foot solar. Is the best purchase ever for me. Yeah. And I have to make a video on that, because we just got our solar installed not too long ago, and it is great to be able to use that whole connection. And we've got, we've got good financing that we can hook you up with that are lower interest rates. We got a good provider that has really good rates, good reviews and everything. So I need to make that video so that people in the OC SoCal area know exactly where to go for solar. This next topic, let's talk about the Tesla used market and explain exactly what is going on, because right now Teslas in a certain price range do have a lot of demand. Let's take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla deal hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. Shout out to Car Dealership Guy for posting this. The used car market seems to be stabilizing after years of turmoil, right? But there's one exception. One segment I've repeatedly spoken about has been a paradox for dealerships: used electric vehicles. Used car values have settled into a more normal depreciation pattern, but in quarter two, the average cost for pre-owned vehicles fell to $27,000, down 7% year over year. But electric vehicles are behaving differently and have depreciated much faster than the average, losing 21% in the value in a year. The reason: new car prices have been coming down and new EVs have gotten cheaper thanks to these aggressive price cuts. Does this matter? Well, yes. For dealers, the economics of used EVs have offered a better new value proposition and renewed interest driven by the $4,000 tax credit that's applied to vehicles. But there's also some risk. Banks and lenders are starting to tighten up on their tax credit usage, and pricing used EVs is tricky. If you go a penny over $25,000, you lose a tax credit. Go under and you could lose money or upset customers expecting more for their trade-ins. Bottom line, the broader used market may be stabilizing, but the EV segment is a whole different game. So certainly interesting, because I don't know about you all, but when you go on used vehicle websites, you see prices all over the place, and it's kind of tricky to see what the heck is going on, because some places like this, where you see a 2019 Tesla Model 3 for $13,950 a month, but if you start to peel back what is actually happening here, they are using the $4,000 used EV tax credit, which everyone doesn't necessarily qualify to post this low price on the website. To qualify for that tax credit, you have to make less than $75,000 or $150,000 combined as a married couple. But the good news is, if you qualify, it is a self-certification. They will allow you to take that $4,000 right off the price of the vehicle. So this could be a good deal. But jumping into a little bit of what is happening with these electric vehicles, it's exactly true. Like most of them, a lot of them are priced under $25,000. And Hertz, of course, we talked about, has a great deal where they just try and price these vehicles out of the gate to get them in and out at under $25,000 for most of them that qualify, because not every single electric vehicle qualifies. Only up to 2022 Tesla vehicles qualify for the tax credit. But certainly it's pretty interesting with what is happening. And I would say if you're paying cash, then one of these vehicles is a great deal. If you're financing with interest rates as high as like 8 to 9%, buying new is going to be a better deal in my opinion. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you shopping for one of these? It seems like I'm learning more and more about the used EV side because we're kind of shopping a little bit ourselves. And we've had a 2019 Model 3 new when it came out when we got in 2019, and then we went to Model Y SX. It'd be nice to get a daily driver that I wouldn't have to worry too much about. And if you can stack the $4,000 used EV tax credit plus any sort of local incentives, it could make a lot of sense just to get into one of these, especially if it's got full self-driving, and then transfer that full self-driving to something else, because that actually is the deal right there, because you don't have to sell the old Tesla to be able to transfer that. So there could be something there, especially if you really, really, really want full self-driving on the new vehicle. It could make sense to buy a used one, get the $4,000, transfer the $8,000 full self-driving, and move on to it. But certainly there's two different ones that from what we've learned so far. There's standard range, of course, for Model 3, and long range. Standard range has a shorter warranty, only up to like 100,000 miles, but long range goes all the way up to 120,000 miles. So certainly that is something to be aware about when you're buying some of these used EVs. I think my target right now for buying a used, I'm still toying with the idea of just buying a brand new one, because certainly a brand new one has the latest technology and everything, and it's just going to be better and more warranty and everything. But buying a used one and taking advantage of all the different incentives, I think right now I'm shooting for like a 2019 to 2022 Tesla Model 3 long range with like 80,000 miles. I think that's what my target is, and I want to pay like $18,000. So certainly that might not be expected, but certainly an interesting move at the moment. If it's standard range, I want to pay a little bit less, and I want it to have like 60,000 miles at tops with that. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. But if you're just joining in, welcome. We've got a Tesla US inventory website update for the inventory on there. And on top of that, we could see all the different incentives that have happened in the past 3 months. And so this really does show us that Tesla needs to ramp it up a little bit more in terms of more incentives, financing offers, and more to try and get inventory. So we could get more incentives as early as today, because Thursday is when Tesla loves incentives. But thanks for jumping in, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.